Hi everybody. Tell me, have you found as you've got older that trying to lose weight and sustain a reasonable body weight has become easier or harder as you've got older? Tonight I'm just going to talk about my struggle that I've had with my weight, and it's been a lifelong struggle. And I'm in my 70s, and I have to admit that I have never ever been able to sit and say to myself, I'm happy where I am and I don't have to worry anymore about my weight. Is there anybody else that feels the same as I do? That it's just a never-ending struggle from morning to night, from one week to the next week? And I mean, I think I know every diet, and I've tried every diet that there has ever been. I mean, I could probably start off with like Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Beverly Hills diet, the South Beach diet, I think, is another one, the Atkins diet, the paleo, keto, high carb diet, low carb diet, high protein diet, low protein diet. I've tried them all. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't work. The problem that I have is being able to maintain and to stay on that for an extended period of time. I don't know whether it's because I get a bit fidgety being on the same plan all the time, or whether it's just because I get bored with the food. I'm really not quite sure what it is that makes me unable to maintain an eating program that seems to work for so many people. Now, I'm not here to give you 5 ways that I lost 50 pound or 5 ways that I've been able to keep my weight off for 20 years and so on and so forth. I'm not here to tell you that, because I can't tell you that. What I'm here to talk about tonight is the struggle that I find it's been for years and years and years. I've been through periods where I've had children, and the children have grown up, I've been on my own, had my mum living with me for a while, got my brother living with me at the moment. I've had my eating usually gets thrown into chaos when there's any sort of change that goes on like that. But I can never, ever seem to maintain. There's something, I don't seem to have that motivation that just keeps me on track and ongoing to get the weight down. Now, I know I need to. I'm 74. I'm 5'5", and I think I currently weigh, it's over 200 pounds. I know in my 30s when I did the, I think it was the Beverly Hills diet, which is basically fruit and then integrating a bit of carb and protein, but there was time delays before you could swap foods. I got into that and I lost a lot of weight, and it was hard, but I maintained it and I lost a lot of weight. I've tried to go back on that so many times, and you get a full 6-week plan of everything that you get to eat. I hardly even get to the end of the first week and I've gone off track. I just cannot seem to stay on track. I've been to Weight Watchers groups. I've been to so many groups where you talk with other people, you get plans given to you, but it doesn't make a difference. I just do not feel motivated to stay on track and do what I need to do. And so I'm interested in other people's views on whether there was suddenly a light bulb moment where, I know what I need to do, or I need to change, or something's happened in your life. I've had things happen in my life. I had a heart attack about 13 years ago. I conked out for 2 minutes in the ambulance and I was brought back. So I know I've got to work on keeping my weight down. I'm on blood pressure medications, I'm on statins, I'm on blood thinners, the whole raft. I'm on the wall, but I still cannot get motivated to get the weight off. Now, all of my life, I've been overweight. As a child in the 50s and 60s and that, you hardly ever saw any fat kids. And I wasn't fat, but I was just a little bit more firm and solid than most of the other kids. So I always thought of myself as being fat. And through life, I've always had to struggle to try and keep my weight down or to get my weight down. Most of the time, it's the struggle to get it down rather than the struggle to keep it down, because I've never really been able to get it down long enough and far enough to then have to worry about maintaining it. I get it down a little bit and then it's back up again. And it's not just back up again. You can guarantee it will add a few extra pounds to it. And I've been to the gym. I've done, over the years, I've had gym memberships probably since I was in my mid-30s. I had a gym membership until about 2 years ago, and I damaged my shoulder, and with one of the exercises that I was doing battle rope things, and I gave up that because then I went back to working full time, and I was working from home 8 hours a day, and I just didn't have time to get to the gym, and because I had the sore shoulder, which slowed me down terribly. Since that time, I've had, well, even prior to that, I've had a bit of a niggle with my knees. I thought I had cartilage in the knees. Sort of niggled a wee bit while I was working for that 2 years. I was sitting at a computer and I'd sit there and relax my legs, and suddenly one of my knees would lock up and I'd have to stretch it out and try and bend it back up again, and that was a bit of a nightmare. But I got through that. I stopped that job in February, so I stopped sitting at my computer for 8 hours a day and working online for a company. So once I stopped that and I was up and about, getting around the house and doing lots of stuff, trying to do gardening and everything, I suddenly found that my knees were getting decidedly more sore and locking up a lot more. And I could actually even just feel the bone on bone crunching on it. And it was not pleasant. It was painful. But it got to the stage where I would wake up in the middle of the night and my knee was throbbing with pain. And you'd think that would be enough to give me the incentive to get my weight down. But it's just another thing that I sort of think, put it to the side. I'll get my knees done and then I'll be fine. So I'm still in the process of being on a waiting list to get that done. So at the moment, my mobility is impaired. I can't really walk very far. I can get up to the letterbox and back down again. And because I'm overweight, I sort of feel like one of the wombles from Wimbledon as I sort of totter along the street. Not a pretty sight. And it hurts me physically. The pain is just, you've got no idea what it's like. Anyway, for those that have had knee operations, you do know what it's like. But for some reason, there's something just not clicking in my brain to tell me to get up. I try every day. Every morning I wake up and think, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that today. By lunchtime, after lunch, it's out the window. I'm back to doing what I normally do. Now, I'm not really a cook. I used to cook for the kids, for my husband and the kids to, you know, as a mum, as you do, but I never really enjoyed it. I think probably the main reason is if I cooked a meal, I mean, I can cook, but if I cooked a meal, then I was tempted to sit down and eat because I love eating. And so the way now that I'm on my own, I cook for my brother, but I don't really do it for myself because I probably cook too much, and I just need to know that whatever I'm going to do, there's a time where it has to stop. And, oh, yeah, I had a bit of an interruption there, so I had to stop and start again, just to get back where I was. Yeah, I was going on about cooking. As I say, I can cook a meal, but if I can't sit and have a really nice meal that I can enjoy, which often includes things that I shouldn't be eating, then I just find it's an absolute waste. The only way that I've really ever been able to lose weight is to be very extreme in what I eat. I can't eat carbs. I know I can't eat carbs. If I eat anything that's got bread, potatoes, anything with wheat, anything like that at all, not only does it give me gas and gives me a bit of a pain in the belly, but it sticks to me like glue. I just can't, you know, I can't really incorporate that into my diet at all because carbs do not let go of me once I've eaten them. Proteins, I don't, you know, I can eat a lot of protein. I really enjoy chicken, fish, and beef and pork and all that sort of stuff. But when you're cooking for one person, it just seems such a waste. One chop or one piece of steak in an egg or something, and I just can't be feeling motivated to do that. I can make a salad. I'll do up a salad bowl, which I can leave enough in the fridge for tomorrow. I'll have it tomorrow, and then the next day I think, oh, I can't bother making up a salad bowl. So I can't get motivated. And I really would like to hear what other people have experienced, what you do to motivate yourself, even when you know that you've got health issues, that you have to do something really severe to get this weight down. As I say, you know, most fish, most food I like. Fish, I like ocean fish, I like shellfish. I don't like freshwater fish, don't like trout, don't like salmon. It's too wild and gamey, so I can't eat freshwater fish. Most other foods I can eat. There's the odd vegetable. I can give or take broccoli, things like that. But it's just, I just really am screaming out, asking for ideas of motivation and what other people do to motivate themselves. Especially if I know I've got the surgery coming up in the future, I'd really like to get some weight off. And as I said, I'm over 200 pounds. I'd like to get down to about 150, something like that. So I've got 50 odd pound plus to lose. And I just don't know how I can get motivated to do it. I wish this was a video telling you, 10 ways to do this. So I did this in 10 ways and lost so much weight, and I've had it off for 12 months. I would love to be able to do one like that. But this to me is basically the start again of another journey. But I want to see this journey out to the end. I want to be able to say, I've been through the process and I have succeeded. And this is me now at this particular weight. All of my life, I've avoided cameras. Don't mind the headshots, don't mind that at all. When it gets to the rest of me, no, don't really want to know it. And there's other you'll see photos. I'll put up a couple of photos. And I'm very hippie, very big round the thighs, and I just hate it. I just wish I was so thin. And I've always said there's one thing I know that I'll never die of is anorexia nervosa. But anyway, I think that's what it is, anorexia. Anyway, so if there is anybody out there that has got any hints, tips, not so much what diet you've been on, because I've tried them all. I know I could write a book. I could write a book on losing weight, how to lose weight, what you've got to do to lose weight. The only thing is I can't apply it to myself and get there at the end of the day because I don't have the motivation for some reason to get on and do it. Health-wise, I know I've got to do it. I could get off a lot of medications. I know there's going to be medications that I'm going to be on for the rest of my life because I had a heart attack. But you would think that that would be enough. But I don't know. I've got this mental block about, I'll start tomorrow. And tomorrow comes, I start, by the end of the day, it's gone west again. So if there is anyone that's got any ideas, I would love to know. One of the things that I've often thought about is to clean out my wardrobe. Now, I have got a wardrobe that I could open up a second-hand clothing shop, and I've got clothes from small sizes, medium sizes, large sizes to extra large. And I keep them all there because I think at some stage of my life, some of those clothes will fit. Some of them have been there 20 years. I bought a suit when I was working in an office, and that was about 23 years ago, and it was a pantsuit, really nice suit, and didn't quite fit into it at the time. And I thought, when I get the rest of this weight off, I'm gonna fit into that suit. It's still sitting in my wardrobe with the price tag on it and a plastic bag over it. I've never had it off the hanger since I bought it 23 odd years ago. So this is my issue. I want to clean out my wardrobe, but I have a fear that if I do it, whatever clothes I've got today aren't going to fit me tomorrow, and I've got to keep going out and buying new clothes. But at least I've got a wardrobe full of clothes at the moment that I can, anyway along the spectrum of weight, I can fit into. I hate it being like that. I just wish I had a small wardrobe with all the clothes that I wear, and I knew that what I'm wearing today will be available to fit me in a month's time, 6 months' time, 12 months' time, and that I don't have this endless supply of clothes ranging from one size up to the top size, just so that I've got clothes to wear. So is there anybody else that's in the same situation as me? Or am I just an oddity? There's something just not quite right with me? This is what I want to know. I don't know whether it's because maybe I'd feel a little bit more comfortable if I knew there was someone else suffering the same as I do. And that might help me get inspired to, right, get on and do this. You just need to do this. So that's my little plea. As I say, I've wondered for ages whether I would make this video. It's very personal, it's very revealing, and it's a part of me that if you've been overweight yourself, it's a part of you that you keep to yourself. It's an internal thing. You know when you look in the mirror what you look like. You know when other people are looking at you. You know what you look like. But you don't want to be reminded of it by looking at photographs of yourself. Now, I have got a few photos. Some of them are pretty horrible. And I maybe have a few photos when I had lost quite a bit of weight back when I was 30 odd. But it's just, I get no joy. I used to like going. I would like to be able to go into a shop and just buy clothes off the hook because I like the look of them, rather than have to say, I like it, but will it fit? And the way I am at the moment, I think I'm about 2 sizes bigger from the waist down than I am the top up. So anything that you buy has got to be able to mix and match to get a top of one size and the bottom's the other size. So there's this whole business. I would just love to be able to go into a shop, walk in there and say, this is, I like it. That would be really nice. I remember I've got a sister, and I remember once she went into a shop and she was going to buy an outfit for something she was going to. And I remember she went in there and she was trying on all the tops, all the jackets. And she finally got one that she fitted her shoulders and everything. And then she just went up and grabbed the skirt and went up to the counter. And I said, aren't you going to try the skirt on? She says, no, it'll fit. I said, you sure? I said, but with me, I have to always make sure I can get something that fits the bottom, and then just know that a couple of sizes less, I get something to fit the top. But she just knew as soon as she had the top fitting, because she had quite wide shoulders, as soon as she had the top, she knew exactly what size she needed for the bottoms. And I thought, oh God, why can't I do that? But anyway, that was years ago. So anyway, just when I finish this off, if there is anybody out there, look, please put some comments in. I'd love to know if anyone else goes through what I'm going through. And if you've had any bright ideas or things that have given you motivation, it's not as if I haven't got enough things that should give me motivation. But if you've had things that have given you motivation, just pop a comment in there. It just might suddenly hit home with me and give me that sort of jab that I need. And with doing this video too, as I am going to start now trying to be very strict, because I'm going to keep posting regularly, and I want to be able to post positive news rather than I didn't really lose anything this week. I want to be able to post positive stuff. So if there is anyone out there that's got any hints or any ideas of motivation, I'd love to hear from you. Okay then, well that's me for now. And if you've got anything out of this video, no, I won't ask you to like and subscribe because you've probably got nothing out of this at all. But in the meantime, look, take care everybody, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.